Hey everybody, what's going on? Thanks for coming out tonight. I see we got a lot of people registered for tonight's webinar, which is good. And we're about to get started. As you see, I got a new webinar platform. So I'm using an old computer. I'm going to be doing slides tonight. So that way, you know, this computer will run much better for the slides. I'm not really going to do the talking head presentation. So let me get in here, make sure it shows everything's working. So we should be able to start here in just a second. I'm not going to have the picture up. I'm going to share my screen tonight because of what I got to show you. I got to share my screen. That way, by doing that, you won't be able to use the chat. It'll be turned off. This new webinar system that I'm using, it's really effective. It's really good webinar system. And this is actually my first live webinar to use this new system with. The only thing is the webcam's old. You can tell it's a little, you know, crimey, but it's fine because I'm not going to be doing a talking head presentation. Anyway, I'm going to be using slides. So that's why I'm using this computer. I'm going to give it just another maybe 1 minute. And we'll get started. It's a couple minutes after 8. Let me slide over. I'm going to go off the screen for a minute and make sure this is set up. You can't see what I see right now, but you're about to see my computer screen. Let me get back to where I was. Here we go. All right, so let's get started with it. I'm sure you've been wanting to drive traffic. So I'm going to show you all about how to drive some traffic. And if you've got your pen and paper, it's a good thing because there's a lot of information we're going to go through. All right, I'm going to go to screen share. Give me just 1 second. And I'm going to pull up the slides. You should see a crazy looking screen here. Okay. Then I'm going to go to present. Give me just 1 second. You see my screen, I'm sure now, and I want to hit present, and bingo, now you got the picture. How to drive massive amounts of targeted traffic to your content in under 48 hours. Now, I know that everybody wants to get results fast, and that's why what I'm going to share with you tonight will get you a lot of results really quick. I learned this from one of the best in the business. He taught it to me, and I want to show you how you can, after tonight, you can learn even more ways to get lots of traffic. But I would say when I started using the strategies I'm about to show you tonight, it was in under 2 days, I had more leads than I usually saw in a week. So let's get going here. That's a picture of me. There I am, Jay Carden. I own the website jaycarden.com. And if you haven't visited, then feel free to go by. I've got a lot of content on network marketing and multi-level marketing, affiliate, mostly online, a little bit of offline things to help you if you're building a business that way. But real quick, I want to tell you, and this is important. Before, the way things were before I knew how to drive traffic. Okay, maybe you can relate to this. I was, you know, getting a lead was very difficult. I was getting leads through social media posting. I put a lot of time into trying to develop leads, and I didn't necessarily have content. If you don't have any content, this is going to be difficult. You can still drive traffic to offers and things. I want to show you that. However, when you put content into it, like, you know, you can write blogs, shoot videos, things like that, and it makes a world of difference. You'll get 10 times more leads. You get them a lot quicker. There's something about content. And when I learned this, I was able to quickly start building. I knew then exactly what I needed to do to really make some serious money online. And that's to continue doing the things I'm going to show you tonight and do more of them and do them over and over as many days as I can. And it's only a matter of time. Every time I write a new piece of content, it's like my income increases. So the idea is to do as much of what I'm going to show you tonight as possible. If you can do it every day, like do a new piece of content every single day, you can make some serious money pretty quick. One of the most wealthiest online marketers within 1 year, he started blogging once every day for 365 days. And by the end of the 365 days, and he stuck to it, he blogged every day, he was the #1 earner in his company. And that's how quick it catches on. And it just builds from there. So before I knew how to drive traffic, I'd say I'd get a lead 1 a week, sometimes 2 a week. Started creating content, learn more traffic strategies. Everything changed quickly. So content is the name of the game. If you're not doing content, I can tell you this: you can you can do webinars like I'm doing. This is content. What I'm showing you tonight is content. It solves a problem. If you need leads and you need traffic, of course, by default, the more traffic you have, the more signups, the more sales. But I'm here to tell you that when you put it to content, you write a blog or a video about a problem. You think of a problem people have in your niche, and then you create the solution, something that you may know. Tonight's content is about driving traffic. I'm going to show you what I know on driving traffic, because odds are I'm going to cover something that you did not know about before. I'm not saying all of it, but there's always that little nugget that pops out and you wind up learning something new. I attend webinars all the time. And another hint here, a little bonus tip: attending webinars, what you learn tonight, if you're watching it live or if you're seeing the recording, you can use what you learned tonight and write and create 100 pieces of content out of what you learned tonight. So if you're ever wondering, what can I write about something you've learned and teach it in your own words. See, I learned what I'm sharing with you tonight. I learned from somebody else who learned it from someone else. And you know how it goes. And then I teach it to the public. You do the same thing in your own way. Blogs, videos, webinars, live broadcasts, all of that works. But content will get you way more. I see a lot of internet marketers that are just throwing out capture pages. Okay, by default, the more traffic you have, the more signups you get. But if you were to put content into it and have a link to that capture page from your blog, from your video, your opt-in rate, your sign-up rate goes sky high. So what's first? All right, everything I go over tonight, you can find. I want to talk about a lot of different websites, because this is about driving traffic. If you visit jcarden.com/traffic sources, if I mention something you've never heard of, you can always go there and find it. I've got them all listed there. I've got all the top websites of what I'm going to go over. All the websites I personally use, and I believe, they work. They help. So the more you do of every one of them, of course, the more traffic you get. All right, so the first thing to do, let's get into the meat and potatoes here. The first thing when you're generating traffic is to create content with a video. And the reason I say that when you create content and you put a video inside the content, really two things. There's two big things that happen here. Number one, the video always ranks higher in the search engines. Any content that has video in it ranks higher, which means organic traffic, the search traffic. That's always the highest converting traffic. No doubt about the search engine traffic, and of course the traffic that you own. And we're going to get into, I want to show you how you can own your own piece of the internet traffic world. Okay, so put a video in it, preferably one that you create. Now, however, it doesn't have to be that way. You can create the video yourself or find a video that is, you know, someone else's. However, you need to have it on your channel. If you have a YouTube channel, you want your video on your channel to lead back to your content. It'll help your blog rank much faster because the content with the video is going to blow out content without it, most likely. The video gives you higher rankings, and it's another source of traffic. People coming from YouTube. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. Google's #1, YouTube is #2. Google owns YouTube, so naturally, a YouTube video ranks higher. So put a video in it. If you've never done a video, you may want to look into how to make them, but if you already know, start putting videos in it. Most people don't, so you can get way ahead of the game here. When you create your content, we're going to go over just a little bit on some tips to help it convert. Here's the part where we're going to convert the traffic. Okay. You gotta know keywords are everything. So when you write, especially me, when I write content, 9 out of 10 times, I'm aiming to get that new piece of content to search engines. That is my main goal, to make sure the content will rank. I don't do all of them that way, but a lot of them I do. So your keyword is everything. If I was to write a piece of content about traffic, I would go look up to see what are the most used keywords there. You know, you can always feel free to research that more, but make sure your keywords are in your content. You're going to want to use anchor text links, and I'll take you over to my blog here in a minute, and I'll show you what I mean by anchor text. That's where you're reading the blog and all of a sudden a word is blue and you click on it, takes you somewhere. Those links get the most clicks, the links that are in the text. Almost everyone gets more clicks that way than anywhere else. So if you're writing a guest post, throw in some anchor text if they allow it. Back to your website, of course. You always need the offer and the giveaway on your page. That sucks in a few leads there. People see the offer or the giveaway that you have. They opt in. They give you their name and email for this free offer. A lot of you here tonight may have taken the offer on my website, for instance. I include an offer below the video, a related offer to what you discuss on the video. All right, and when I get through this page, I'll take you over to my blog, and I'll show you what all this means. You'll notice the top bloggers, the ones that get the most leads, always put a video in their content, and then right below the video has like a sentence, and the whole sentence is a link, and it's something related to the video. So if I did a post on topic, and I will, and I'll use my video will be this webinar. Below this video, I'm going to have the text link. And if you're watching the recording, you already see it. But right now, at the moment, as I speak, this is live, so I haven't created it yet. Always put a PS offer at the bottom. Those convert very well. Those will catch all the people who read all the content. That's usually where they opt in. And of course, that is like the text below the video. This is related to the entire blog. It's like, you know, PS, if you want more information on driving traffic, or if you would like information on how to convert the traffic into leads, click here, or something like that, for instance. That is how you do it. I see a lot of people that have blogs. They'll be talking about, you know, traffic, how to generate traffic, and then they have a link at the bottom. Hey, and if you want to work at home, click here. Well, you know, apparently the reader more than likely already has something to work at home. That's why so they're not really going to get many clicks. It should have been something related to traffic, because if they're reading it, you know, they're interested in that. Pop-ups, you know, they got a bad rep. You hear people say, you know, oh, I hate the pop-ups. Well, those get you more leads than anything. Those are the number one. Anchor text is number two. But pop-ups are very important. So let me exit the presentation mode here and take you over. Find it real quick up here at the top, menus. This may be it. Okay, this is the page I was talking about earlier, the traffic sources. But let's go to the home page real quick, and I'll just go click on this little the latest blog post I wrote. Okay, so here's the page, and as you see how I set it up, I have my banners on the right side bar. Those are for the banners. And then over to the left, I've got my social sharing buttons. As you see, you know, Facebook, Google Plus, and all that. All right, those are going to be on every post. Those are standard. So when I write new content, it does not have anything. It doesn't change that. But bingo, here's a video that I created. It's on YouTube as well. And right below that, you see a link. And there it is, right there. It's about becoming valuable. There's a mindset. And I talk about value in the video. Then down at the bottom, the PS, right there. Catching the people that are, you know, doing that. Now, I don't know if I have any anchor text in this one. Some of them I do, some of them I don't. I don't have anything, you know, outside of the offers. So anchor texts are in about half the post, I would suppose. Now, the pop-up banner, you're not going to see it, and maybe it will when I go to close out. When I go to close that out, the pop-up will come out because it's already popped up and I closed it, so it don't pop up again. The pop-up banner would come up had I not opened it before the webinar. So that shows you the two texts I was talking about. And the PS at the bottom. That's the two that you want to put in there. They convert a lot of leads. Hold on, click the wrong window. Let me go back to right here. Okay. Then I want to go back to the present mode, and I want to show you now. Every time I write a piece of content, what I do to drive the traffic. And I'm telling you, I say in under 48 hours, but I'm telling you, if you do this, you'll get it within 24 hours. In 48 hours, it just gets ridiculous. Okay. So let's get started. Here's what the first thing I'll do. When I create a piece of content, I use WordPress. Okay, I use WordPress. I think it's the best. Google, you know, all the search engines love it. So if you're not using WordPress, hey, get it if you want. If you, some people, a lot of others use Blogger. Now, I do have a Blogger account as well. But what I'll do each time I write on WordPress, WordPress is my main blog. That's my hub. I own it. The reason I don't use Blogger is because I can't own the blog. Google owns my blog when I use Blogger. but I will still use it anyway, and I'll make a duplicate piece of content. However, I do not use the same words. Now, to make this a little faster, you can get a spin writer, spin rewriter. It's some software. There's a couple of different versions, but if you want to speed it up, you can throw it in there, hit a button, and it'll rewrite the content. It'll be all different words, but basically the same thing. So that way you don't get hit by the search engines and penalized. But you can make a copy. I'll put one on LinkedIn. All right, LinkedIn is really great. If you can write articles on LinkedIn and content, it ranks very good. It really does. I've got a lot of my LinkedIn articles I've written are the #1 spot on the #1 page for certain keywords. And I get a lot of leads from those pieces of content I wrote nearly a year ago. And it's still bringing in leads. And of course, in all of these extra places, IBO Toolbox. I know some of you guys on tonight are IBO members already. If you're not, you can go to jcarden.com traffic sources, and you'll see a link to IBO Toolbox. You can go become a member. You have to be referred. You know, somebody has to refer you. That's how it works. And you can get free advertising, things like that. But you can also write press releases. And I'll write a press release on IBO Toolbox leading back to WordPress, my main blog. All these other places that I'm writing all lead back to the WordPress. The links in the blog lead back to WordPress. I'm backlinking back to my main website. Blogger goes to WordPress. LinkedIn goes to WordPress. IBO Toolbox leads to WordPress. MLM Gateway is a good one because since I write about network marketing, I want network marketers to read it. And that's all MLM Gateway is network marketers. It's like a Facebook for only network marketers. I've got a link to it as well. If you haven't become a member, go check it out. You can write business announcements there. They index them. They go to the search engines. I've had some of those. I found those online. Maybe not the top spot, but they were pretty high up there. And of course, you can be a guest writer at as many places as you possibly can. There's no limit to that. I'm a guest writer for a big website, and I use it. Okay. And there's tons of them out there where you can write, and they'll just let you come in and write articles for them. So go do your research, find as many of those as you can. And each time you write a piece of content, that same day, go write it on all these others and link it back to your main one. That is step. Next, you're going to hop on your primary blog, WordPress, hopefully, and you're going to post to every single social media account that you have. Now, you know, a lot of people may think, well, duh, that's common sense. But there's a reason for this later on. It's not just to get the traffic that may see the post. You know, that's going to get you maybe a little bit. If you're building your Twitter following and you're building Facebook and you're building those sites actively, of course, the more direct traffic from those you're going to get. But there's also another reason. So you want to make sure you post to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all of them you got an account with. The ones you see right now are the ones I use every time. Pinterest, I make a pin for the video and for the content. I do them both because I can. I can do one that links to YouTube and one that links to WordPress. So I do them both for certain reasons. And you can also, you know, put a post to your new content in as many Facebook groups as you can, as many LinkedIn groups, and as many Google Plus groups. You know, you can get in these groups, make sure they're targeted. You know, I don't join groups unless they're relevant to what I do. So all the groups I'm at are like network marketing, internet marketing, people that are interested in what I do. So I'm going to post those all over the place. Just one time. That's all I got to do because It's about to go crazy in a little bit. Now there are also syndication groups. I don't know if I mentioned that in the slides, but a syndication group is where people will share your content. They will literally purposely comment and share. It's kind of like you do mine, I do yours kind of deal. Those are really good if you can get a few of those. I love them. They help a lot. Then here's where, traffic exchanges, and I use them. Okay. I have found them to be fairly good, and I will load my content into it. If you've ever been on a traffic exchange, I mean, when you first get on them, it's almost like, it seems pointless. And most people are just putting landing pages and capture pages on them. There's really no value in it. So to put a blog post on it, it's a big deal. I mean, some people are catching on, but when I first started doing it, I didn't see anybody that put a blog post on it. So I'd put my blog post on it, get 800 visitors a day. None of them would opt in, of course. But that's not the point. The point is the ones that I was loading, and I will not use on some of them if they're like these quick ones where the members view them for like 10 seconds. I'm going to put probably my blogger on there. Reason being, I'll get more hits to it and try to help it rank. Because if I get a lot of small hits to WordPress, they may realize I got it on a traffic exchange and penalize me. So I don't want to do that. Not like you got to be careful when you're loading things around. You don't want to go nuts with your primary blog. Now, Google, the reason I'm saying Google or a LinkedIn article or the Blogger is because those are high authority sites. If they were to catch it, they may away to where it won't rank, but not my entire website, because they can't. They're not going to remove Blogger or LinkedIn from the search engines just because one person put a post on the traffic exchange. However, if they see it's jcarden.com and I'm the only one that posts there, they're going to penalize it, and then none of my website posts rank. So don't use your primary on these small traffic exchanges. Sharing sites is basically where you load your content and people will share it on Facebook, tweet it, and they do this for coins, and then they can have their content or their whatever it is promoted. So these are really powerful if you work with them. When I first started using the social sharing sites, I was seeing leads every day, and it was costing me nothing. I was just loading my Facebook posts and my, side articles into these sites, and some of them I did my, WordPress blog, and the leads just started pouring in, and I was like, oh, so I just need to do more of this. I got to start doing a lot more of this, and I've got some of the best social sharing sites on the traffic sources page on my website. Some traffic exchanges that are really good and trusted, that have lots of members, because that's important, and the social sharing sites that really, really got me a lot of leads. So you can start loading your Facebook post, your Google, the little post that you made that promoted your website, you can load it, and people will share that post on Facebook, on their Facebook. So their friends and their followers are seeing your blog posts. And now you go from just showing it to your followers to sharing it to thousands and thousands of more people. That's what makes this big. And that's what starts really, really driving traffic. And same way with Pinterest, I've got people repinning it and liking it and, pinning my pins to their board, and I'm reaching their followers. See, I'm starting to reach outside of my own following base, and I'm growing my following base. But yeah, I'll see a lot of leads when I start loading into that. So go check out the traffic sources page, and Start loading your content into those traffic exchanges and social sharing sites. All right, number 4, you can load the video. I'll take my video, the one that I made for the blog. Of course, it's on YouTube, but I'll put it on IBOTube and Dailymotion. That's just 2 more websites that can see this video. All right, and think about this. When I load it to a new website like IBOTube, or I load it to Dailymotion, instantly I get a new link as well. It no longer is a YouTube / watch ZBYX2. It becomes IBOTube.com / whatever, or Dailymotion.com. That means I can now get that video to even more people when I load those videos into the social sharing sites. See, now people pin from YouTube and from IBOTube and Dailymotion, because those sites will only let you load one link once. So if the link changes to a different website, the same video can get triple the exposure. And videos are big. People love videos. You get a lot of views on your videos, they start climbing the ranks, good things start happening. Traffic. And guys, the more you stay consistent with this, it just gets bigger. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you feel like you've made it because you know what to do now. You just keep doing more of it. Now, number 5, what I'll do is I will backlink. And now I use tools for this, and this is a huge step here. If you don't know what backlinking is, that's just simply where, like when I rewrite the content and I put a link back to my WordPress from like Blogger or LinkedIn, that's called a backlink. It links back to my content, or it sends you to another website. I use what they call, it's called Social Monkey, and it's on the page I was taught, traffic sources, on my website. And I'll get my content backlinked to massive amounts of high authority websites. I'll get notified every time I come out with a new piece of content. I really don't know where all they're putting it, but I know they're putting it in some big places, because people are taking my blog post and they're writing content and using my link. Okay, when that starts happening, and you find it online, somebody else is now using my content. So now I'm reaching their following and their readers. I'm getting more backlinks. It's helping. It starts to create a snowball effect. It's almost like it just grows on its own. It starts to just spread. And that Social Monkey tool I use, I load it in, and then over 2 weeks, it just posts, like, I think, into 50 websites a day or something like that, and just keeps putting my content in all these other websites. And then people start finding it and they start linking it to theirs. It's incredible, the traffic that just starts to come from that. Now, like I said, I've had, I know in a given day, I think like 2,000 views to one blog post, and it hasn't even been 24 hours since I wrote it, and it's got 2,000 views and leads. How many leads, I wouldn't know. I'd have to count them, but you just see the emails coming in. So-and-so, opted into the pop-up offer. This person linked in here and here and here, and you got commissions and all this coming in. That is why you make a lot of noise. So what we're doing here is we're making noise. We're putting our content everywhere. Now, here's a big thing. This is really what you're doing all of this for, is to build a list. To build a list of subscribers. You've heard it, the money's in the list. Well, the money is even more in a list when you nurture the list. In other words, when you send out emails, if every email is about buying something, you're probably not going to see many sales. But if you're sending emails on, you know, links to webinars, information, resources that they may find useful, anything to help the subscriber or to give them more knowledge about something. Then when it does come time to sell, and it's basically the 80-20 rule, you know, 80% value, 20% sale. When it does come time to sell, you will sell. You will sell massive copies of whatever it is or whatever the product is. They will buy it. If you are giving them what they want, when it comes time to sell, or you got a good offer, you'll make sales. So every time you write a new blog post, email it to your list, send it out. They'll come and they'll read it. That's what you call traffic that you own. Your list, you own. That's traffic that you own. I heard that from Ray Higdon. You know, and you own traffic. That's what you're doing. All this content for is to build a reader base, a buyer, a customer base, of, you know, social media following, all of that. You're building your brand. So always you can email your list, and in time it gets bigger. So you get the point. In the beginning, this step may not do you much, but if you continue with the first 5 steps I talked about, quickly you'll start to see that this one will start building up really, really quick if you are capturing leads. And then step 7, we wash, rinse, and repeat. Consistency is everything. If you do this one time, you're going to see leads. You're going to see visitors. Okay, I can't say you'll see leads because I don't know if you've even got anything set up to capture them. Okay, you will see traffic. You'll see a lot of traffic. What you've done is you've set it out there in front of the eyes of thousands and thousands of people. And each day you do it, you start to develop more and more traffic. So I can do those same 5 steps if I was brand new, and then do them again the next day with a new piece of content, and it will get a little more than the day before. And then if I do it 3 days in a row, the 3rd day will be the most traffic ever. And each day you do it in a row, your traffic gets larger and larger. And I highly recommend that if you're creating content, you really, really do study all the time, not just on developing the traffic, but also studying how to capture the traffic and make them repeat visitors. In other words, subscribers on your list. You know, that's another big thing if you're focusing on that, because if you don't have a way to capture leads, then you don't have really a way for it. You don't have a customer list or a visitor list. So really, really do focus. That's why I wanted to cover that in the beginning, so you'll get an idea how you can, a few tips on how to capture leads with this content. Now, guys, you can also use page strategies. Those work good. I didn't want to cover any of those because, you know, I wanted to just go over the freeway. I'm looking at like somebody who's new. That's what I'm really doing this. Somebody who really needs a lot of traffic but doesn't have a budget. All those resources except SocialMonkey, or you can use them for free. They don't cost anything. As you start to develop money, now you can definitely increase them by spending a little money. You can get more traffic, more shares, more. You can get more of everything. You know how it works. But Facebook ads, Twitter ads, things like that, they're great. They work good. They drive traffic. But I didn't really want to touch into those because, you know, it's not really related to what we're doing tonight. So one other thing here, though, I want to talk to you about some more traffic secrets and sources. Now, everything I just showed you, I personally do it. It works. And I learned it from a man named Rob Four. That's who I learned it from, Rob Four. He's like an SEO expert. The guy's like everywhere. His content is everywhere. When you're looking in the network marketing industry, type in a keyword, some of the big ones, and he pops up because he knows how to rank. And I've even got tools that he no longer sells that I'm using to get more backlinks with. I put a lot of money into backlinking my content. And last year I ranked, I think number 34 blog in our industry in the world. I was number 34. So hopefully in 2016, I'll be in the top 10. That's what I'm shooting for. I'm trying to, work my way up there. However, I want to show you how I learned all this and show you a source where you can get a lot more good information. And I put my name on this 100%. I love this. This is a product that Rob Four has. It's called Posting on Purpose for Profits. I got that and I reviewed it. And a lot of the stuff I showed you tonight, I got these ideas from Posting on Purpose for Profit. And that's what it's about. It's about you writing a piece of content or shooting a video or doing both, like I prefer or recommend, and purposely doing it to make a living doing it, to get a lot of traffic, to get a lot of sales, to get a lot of leads. So he created Posting on Purpose for Profit so you could learn lots of strategies to generate leads. And he covers a lot of them. And the way the product lays out was module 1 is Posting on Purpose for Profits. He talks about how to make profits, not sales necessarily, but profits on your content. It's $100 value, that module. And then it has module 2, which is the traffic area of the product. And that's where we covered, all the sharing, the social sites, the traffic exchanges. He lists some sources that are really powerful. I couldn't even cover them on an hour. This thing's hours and hours long. It really is. There's a lot to learn. So, and then at the end, module 3, which is Posting on Purpose for Leads, that is where you really, really got to pay attention. If you're going to start driving traffic, you really got to keep up with how well your pages are converting. How well is your capture page doing? He'll go over some things such as, the fill-in form. And you may not know this, but on an offer, if you just take that little box, the name and email box out, and just put the offer there with a link that takes you to the box, it converts better. I don't know why, but the numbers show it converts better. Things like that, you got to learn those things and start using them. And that's why you saw on the right side, I don't have the fill out form other than on the home page. So all of those, it's a 3-module product I'm showing you tonight. And the total value is $300 product. This is what it sells for. However, of course, that's not going to be the case tonight. Tonight, I'm going to put that offer up on my traffic resources. And if anyone tonight wants to further their learning curve and how to produce traffic, how to, do some shortcuts, those things I showed you, there are ways to double them and to get them done quicker, because it's a lot of work, guys. It is a lot of work, but it's worth it. The person who is always trying to take the easy route, just push a button and make money come, well, they're going to be disappointed. If you're not making money online, you're going to be doing a lot of work in the beginning to get your name out there, to get going. So what I wanted to do is throw in a bonus. And I want to help you to own your own traffic, to help you build a list. So I decided, to throw in anybody who gets Posting on Purpose for Profits is going to also get the MLM Recruit on Demand system. If you don't have this system, I know there's a few guys on IBO that have it. I don't know anyone who is not happy with this. This is to help you build a list. Okay, it comes with capture pages that convert very well. I get lots of leads from their capture pages, and it's a wonderful thing to have when you're writing content in our industry, in the network marketing industry especially. You got lots of resources to capture leads, and you can throw it in there to help build your list. It's got a lot of other advantages, like a lifetime of prospects. You know, you'll never have to buy leads, and I highly recommend that you don't buy leads. If you're in network marketing and you bought, like, what is it, those home-based business seeking leads, I know you were probably frustrated when you started calling them because none of them were interested. The MLM ROD system, or Recruit on Demand system, will give you prospects, genealogy leads, which for me have converted the best. Using genealogy leads, I was able at one time to get 24 signups into my business at the highest level, 24, in under 3 weeks using genealogy leads. Well, when I found out that this system used genealogy leads, guess what? I got it. And you can have it tonight at no cost. You can become a member. You don't even have to pay for the system. You'll have all the resources. You'll never have to pay for leads again. You'll always have them. And you'll have in the landing page and such. So I wanted to throw that in, and I also wanted to add the IBO, since we got some IBO guys on here. There's a product I created, which it focuses a lot on SEO and specifically IBO Toolbox, their press release tool. I've got content on page 1, quite a few pieces of content that I wrote on IBO Toolbox and got it to page 1. And that content has made me a lot of money. And so I decided to make a product and teach how I did it. And it's all focused on IBO. So if you wanted to start using IBO Toolbox to, you know, to get more traffic to your WordPress, or to get traffic directly from IBO Toolbox, I'm going to show you how to do it, and show you how to I even focus on how to convert leads from that press release tool. It's a $97 value. I'm just going to throw it in as a bonus, absolutely free, on top of the MLM Recruit on Demand system. So to go over what the offer is tonight, posting on purpose for profit, $300. The MLM Recruit on Demand is priceless. When you get the system, it's not very expensive to get in the system, but you don't have to worry about that. It's free for you. But when you sell it, you can get up to $100 commission from one sale, and you put that whole 100 in your pocket. So you'll have a tool to make more money as you build your business. And I'm going to throw in the IBO Toolbox press release formula for only $97. All of that, I'm going to let you have it today for just $47. All of this, $47. It's the perfect way to build your list, take your traffic generation and lead generation to a whole new level, both on your personal website and on your blog. So to get all of this for just $47, you'll have to go over to jaycarden.com/traffic sources, and you'll see it, posting on purpose for profit. It's on that page, and it's just $47, but it's going to end on May 31st. At midnight, May 31st, all of this is gone, and you're not going to be able to get it. So if you are interested in getting this offer and getting all this value, then head on over there now. Go ahead and pick it up. And on May 31st, I'll send out a reminder towards the end to let those who are looking to get it, I'll let them know that it's about to end. But I did not create posting on purpose for profit. So it's not really my product. but I do highly recommend it. I own it, that's for sure. And it helped me go from having no following to the number 34 blog in less than a year. So has it been worth it? Absolutely. I've made tens of thousands of dollars from it, from what I've learned from that so far. So I would highly recommend you pick it up and add it to your traffic, to your library for your internet marketing or network marketing. So guys, those are the slides there. I'm going to come out and we're going to wrap this up real quick. Let me hit exit. So don't forget, over to where the product is here. If you go over to traffic sources, you can still see my screen. Hit traffic sources there at the top. And you would go down to, I think it's just a couple. See, there's IBO Toolbox I talked about. That's how you can, if you're not a member there, you can become a member that way. MLM Gateway. There's a Social Monkey tool. Rank and Stick, I didn't go over that. That's similar to Social Monkey. It's very, very, very powerful. It's another Rob 4 product. It really is. And then right there it is. It's the only educational product. All the others are websites or tools. Posting on Purpose for Profit is simply teaching you how to do something. And I highly recommend you go get it. So guys, I'm hoping you got a lot of value from tonight. Let me click back over. I'm going to take off the screen share here. Time's about up anyway. There we go. Hey, there we go. Let me click, yeah, whatever, right there. Take this off, and we're back. So head on over there if you want to get Posting on Purpose for Profit. I'm going to wrap this up. It will be recorded. I'm sending out the recording probably by Friday, Saturday. It'll be out, and everybody will be able to view it and to get the offer. So if you got value from tonight, hey, shoot me an email. Let me know, tell me what you learned. I like to hear back. Something that I didn't cover and perhaps you were hoping I would, or you want to learn more about, shoot me an email. Let me know. You can email me at j@jcarden.com. My first name at my first and last name.com. Shoot me an email and just let me know how tonight went. So guys, thanks for hanging out with me for an hour. Hope you got value, and I will see you on probably in a couple weeks on the next webinar. So bye for now.